Hello, I'm Jessica and my mom Jeanette, and we are going to do our chat today. So we have 8 items. Each of us have 8 items. Mom's gonna have to be quieter with the table though, because I'm sure you guys hear all that banging and clanging. It's late in the day, so we usually do this in the morning and it's late, so we'll see how this goes. We each have a notebook and we write down 8 projects from our sewing room. So some are new things, some are things that we've just had for a while that we'd like to get done. Some are things that we've brought from other shops, but we are a quilt shop, so if anything we share with you, if we have the pattern, the book, or the kit, we will tell you that. And you can always watch our live shopping on Fridays on Facebook. That's at 9:30 Friday morning. And some of the things that you see here, if it's for sale, you'll find it on that shopping. But this is just us inspiring you or making you feel better about all the stuff you have going on in your sewing rooms.
Right, and even though this is YouTube, you can always private message us on our Facebook about something that we are showing today.
Yes, you can call the shop, you can message us on Facebook if you are interested in anything we share with you.
Right, and we don't necessarily know prices or anything because we're not.
It's just chatting.
Just chatting it up.
Yes, okay, you wanna go first?
All right, so number 1, I finished my binding on my inkling quilt. So this quilt's been done for a while, and I think we sold it on Facebook Live.
We did, we sold it on live shopping. I think we were out of that background. We got it back in. We may have everything to make this.
Yeah, the only thing, I do think this top and bottom border I put on is gone. That bolt.
But you could do
gone.
something else.
But we do have the pattern. It's an inkling is the name of the pattern, and it was a square quilt, and I made it rectangle by just adding the border at the top and the bottom. And it is big, and I couldn't even tell you the measurement. I didn't get the pattern in front of me.
Yeah, and it uses 16 fat quarters. So if you
16
have
fat quarters in a background.
yeah, so if you have any of our 16 fat quarter packs, then you could do something with that.
Right. So this will hang in the shop for a while as long as we still have fabric for it.
Right.
But I did see the patterns are hanging this morning.
All right, so I went camping over Easter weekend, our first outing in our camper. And I went to a quilt shop in Springfield, and it was called So Simple Quilt Shop. It's a cute shop. It's by Lambert's.
Oh, this is the one we go to when we go to.
Yes.
When we go to Lambert's, you must stop at this one.
Yes. We didn't eat at Lambert's, but we did go to the shop. And they have a cheese store there too. We went to the cheese store. Anyway, Springfield, Missouri. They had these little bundles of
So cute.
Anna Marie Horner fabric and a Villa Rose pattern, and then I mean she must be working with Villa Rose because the pattern's done in her fabric. So
And her fabric, and it says Anna Marie on it at the bottom, and Free Spirit and Anna Marie.
yeah, so I got 2. One's for Mom.
Ooh.
She hasn't picked the one she
Yeah,
wants
because I
yet.
like them both.
Yeah, I know it's hard to decide. I think the fabric's the same in both of them.
It looks similar anyway.
Yeah, it's just that the pattern's a little bit different. So anyway,
So I
aren't
get
those
one of them.
cute? All right,
She
that was my
says.
number 1.
That was your number 1. Number 2, I have made some progress on a cross stitching that I'm working on. So this is Modern Folk Embroidery is the designer, and we do not have this pattern at the shop. I don't have any of his patterns. I think they're kind of hard. At least the distributors I work with,
You haven't been able to
I
find
haven't
them.
been able to find it. So I bought this at a shop, I think in Blue Springs. I've had it probably a year, but it's Modern Folk Embroideries, the Two Sisters Quaker, and you can see there's 2 different pictures, whatever you want to call them. What you call the pictures?
I don't know. Yes, two different designs.
Design. So one is done, woohoo, and I made great
Because they're not the exact same. Yeah, they're a little bit
They're a
different.
little bit different, and so when I showed this last week, I hadn't done any of this big one in the middle.
So yeah, you've
So
made some
look,
progress.
I've done quite a bit of that. And I'm doing this in, this is a 32 count antique white, and it's a Lugana, so it's an even weave. And then the floss is a Weeks Dye Works called Mascara. which, I mean, yes, it's hand dyed, and I'm thinking, why couldn't I just use black? You really can't tell hand dyed.
No, not in that one.
I could have just done DMC black,
She
310.
could have, but you know.
But 32 count antique wheat.
I mean, there's
antique white weeks. We're at the end of the day, so there is no telling what's going to come out of my mouth.
but theirs does look like it's very, or you know, hand dyed.
Oh, it does?
Does
Can you
it?
see
Don't you think?
Well, yes, look at that.
But maybe it's the printing.
Could be printing. I don't know. Mine does not look hand dyed. I don't see it.
Okay, my number 2 is more stuff I bought.
Well, if you can't get anything else done, just go buy.
Just go buy new stuff if you get anything done. So I bought a whole bunch of patterns.
Oh, I love them too.
And we're gonna get them here in the shop. We just don't have them yet. But anyway, this one, and it uses 16 back quarters for
now,
the
do
small
we carry
girl.
hers that modernly? So we've got a few patterns of
I
hers.
think maybe we do, but
Modernly Morgan.
isn't that cute? And then this one,
I really like
Stairway to Heaven. I love the name.
I love the song.
And it uses
There's a song, Stairway to Heaven.
there is an old song, right?
Old. I'm old.
It uses a jelly roll. And then this one uses 16 back quarters, which are we sell 16 back quarter packs like hotcakes around here.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one uses back quarters also. Now the twin size uses 20 to 21 back quarters, but look at the back.
Oh, that's cute.
And then last but not least, this one. And it also uses 16 back quarters.
That is really cute.
Yes.
Those are all really neat.
So we're gonna get these for the shop. I'm hoping. I haven't looked them up yet to make sure. But so those are my first 2 things, just stuff I bought.
Just stuff you bought, and you know, it counts in my eyes.
I think so.
I don't know if I brought that little pattern, but maybe I didn't. It's this little cross-stitching thing.
Oh.
So this I showed.
Well, last week you showed it. So go back and watch last week. She showed it with the pattern.
Yeah, there's a pattern and it has 3 Easter spring projects on it, and this is the one I finished, and it was finished last week as far as finished. It still showed the seam here, so I actually got the
little button.
and on the little button. So it's just a little piece of wool, hand stitched around, and a button in the center.
Button's cute. I haven't seen you do that before.
I haven't added a button before, but just kind of whimsical.
You were like, let's put a button on that. That's
yeah,
cute.
why not? They have a button on there.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hot glue it though.
Yeah, if anything's crooked or whatever, just put some rickrack or a button on it.
Yeah.
It dresses it up. Hides it.
Hides it. Just disguises it.
Yes. Okay, so the next one is actually one I've been working on. And I want to get this done because...
Oh my gosh, you've made a lot of progress.
Yeah, I'm ready to put this dude together. So this is, we have this pattern in the shop, and this is a half-yard pack of Jen Kingwell called Greenstone that we do have here in the shop. And this is how I made...
Little bunnies on that. I just noticed that. There's little bunnies hopping.
Yeah, and some cat hair on there too.
Lovely cat hair.
Yes, my daughter kicked the cats out of her room, so they're enjoying my sewing room.
They like it when you're up there too.
Yes. Anyway, I got all the blocks done. There's 20 blocks. I had them all done last week.
So are you doing the lap 63 by 78?
Yes. So the half-yard pack of greenstone is what I used for the stars and this border or background. Right. And then this is a French General, the green, and it's on every block. And I mean, I still have a pile of fabric left.
I bet you do, because that probably hardly made a dent.
Yeah, I've thought, well, next week I'll come up with a project.
Or you can make this like California King.
No, I don't want to do that.
No.
I debated about it, and I'm like, no.
I don't like big quilts.
Well, the part that hung me up is all these, the sashings.
So you can't necessarily see that in there. She had to show me last week because I was like,
it's the last there.
So this kind of shows you the sashing in there. Well, that's how you get that secondary block with the stars on the outside.
So I've made all the sashing. So these are the ones that go around the outside of it. And then these are the ones that go in the middle. So I have all those done. I have them all done.
So now you are really ready to set.
Yes, so now I was thinking maybe tonight, if I get up there, I would be ready to
maybe start setting a few rows and making progress.
Yeah, put it all together.
Now that's a lot of half square triangles.
Yes.
Hourglass blocks.
Yes, I know. We had a lady come in today that's making this, and she's kind of a beginner. I'm like, oh, honey.
I'm gonna pick that for a beginner.
Yeah, but she didn't, I mean, she was coming in to ask questions. She'd already bought the stuff, so.
She was in.
I was trying to help her, but I'm like, this is a little, it's not hard. It's just a lot. There's a lot of
reading and understanding.
A lot of little steps, and it is all done in color, which is nice, but anyway, that's what I've been working on. Everything else you see is just stuff I've not done.
Okay, did I put the pattern in here for this? Yes, I did. Okay, so we are a quilt shop. Jessica mentioned that at the beginning. So we do sew-alongs here. We try to do one, I don't know that we do one every 6 months, but at least one a year, sometimes two, depending on how it works out. But this is the one we're going to start April the 15th. It's called Trail Mix Quilt. It calls for a layer cake. And you can see it's very low volume, you know, kind of.
The one they've done, yeah. And I will say, the one on the front does not show that it has these little extra rectangles in there.
Square and rectangle too.
Yeah, it's just kind of printed on the front. But anyway, I've had a few people call and be like, okay, the pattern on the front's not what's in there, but I just keep that in mind.
Just keep that in mind, and when you open it up, the instructions tell you how to cut it.
Right, and shows the picture with those rectangles.
Yeah, and it is in color, which is nice. Anyway, this is our sew-along. Starts April 15th, but if you don't have your pattern, and now's the time to start gathering your fabrics. So when I showed it last week, I had all of it cut out, I believe, or close to it.
But you didn't have a background picked. You picked a fun background.
Oh, did I pick a fun background? Oh, yeah. Anyway, now it's all cut entirely because these, it calls for a layer cake, but really you're taking that 10-inch square and cutting it into the largest cut is a 7.5-inch square, and then you're cutting those into double diagonals. So I've got all that done. And then once it was all pretty in the box, I couldn't stand it. It's like, I have to make a couple of blocks. And so I couldn't just stop with one block.
So you made a whole row.
I made a whole row. And I put the sashing in it.
And so it's really fast, huh?
It goes together fast. Look how pretty it is.
Yeah, so this is, on the pattern, it doesn't show this very well.
Doesn't show that
on the front.
That little 2.5-inch strip and then that little 2.5-inch square is on every block. It's just that you're kind of turning it a little bit. And in the pattern, you can see that the sashing is white. And I decided I want mine to show up really bright because the blocks are very low key.
That's cute.
Low volume.
I love it.
Anyway, I'm liking it.
It's an Essex linen.
It's
green.
called Pickle. Pickle's the color. Pickle's the color.
What a clever name.
And so this is all from my scraps. I have a container of just low volume prints, and then I had this in my stash too. It was a half-yard cut I picked up somewhere. But the Essex linen is Pickle, and I got that here at the shop. So I've got one row done.
Very nice.
So now I'm going to put it away, even though I have a jump start on April 15th. I'm going to put it away until April 15th.
So if you do the sew along on our private Facebook group, we do every week, we ask you to share a picture of your progress. It can just be your fabric, and then you're entered into a drawing. So that's what our sew along.
Oh, that's a pretty together.
So, yeah, so I also have my trail mix.
Oh, yes. She couldn't decide. I don't think you even brought fabric last week.
Well, this is one, I think I picked it last week, but this is one that I just had at the house. So I'm using something I had, and I'm gonna do the layer cake. And then this is what I'm gonna do for my background. We had this at the shop in the sale room.
And when you say background, you mean sashing?
Or sashing, where the white is. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I like that.
And then this will be the little cornerstones.
Ooh, and maybe binding?
And binding, yeah.
That is pretty.
I'm excited.
So nice. This is a really fast sew. Like I said,
yeah, so if you have a layer cake around, here you go.
Yeah, it does not have to be the low volume. I went with that because I have actually a container and a half of just low volume prints. All right, get back to my book. Stay focused.
Yes.
Now, I have a new block of the month coming up, and we're starting this little block, and I say block of the month, but it's really a row along, so we're going to do a whole row for the month. We just finished a row along, and I had good participation and a lot of positive comments that people like doing something a little different, so I picked another row along. So it starts in May, so you could sign up for it and I'm not gonna probably mess up all the details because I didn't bring that book over here with me.
There are some details that you can call the shop and find out.
There, well, I think it's around $18, $19 a month, but you have to buy the pattern ahead of time. But look, I got 2 rows together.
Wowzer.
So I went ahead, I think last week I showed you I had this row, had the blocks done. But I actually got them together, and I even started, or I even finished row 2.
Yay.
Look how pretty
Love that.
It is so pretty. Not difficult sewing. Look at the fun little prints in the middle of those.
So you have rows 1 and 2 done.
1 and 2 done. May and June, if you can believe that. I'm actually ahead. So this will just go on for 9 months, and you'll get everything every month to do 1 row. And we're just starting at the top and going down the bottom. So 1 through 9. 9 months you'll be done.
Very nice. Okay, so we did this as, this was our, we do these mystery rolls that are 2.5 inch strips by width of fabric that we put together at the shop of our end of the bolts. And then we do a mystery bag. And so this was last year's mystery bag. So with the bag, you know the pattern, but you don't know the fabric. And so I think I showed it last week. It had been quilted.
Oh, I
but
love
I've
the
started
orange key on it.
I've started putting the binding on it.
Oh, I love that. That is so pretty.
And this was just something I had. I'm sure that it came with binding, but I couldn't find it, so.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Straight.
It's like it's folded up somewhere.
And I did a minky
with a Baptist band pattern. It's
The
so
Baptist
pretty.
pattern.
So we do have this pattern in the shop. We have mystery rolls if you would like to do your own.
Yeah, we even have an orange one if you wanted to do something similar to mine.
This is an Essex linen background she used. I think it's just called natural.
Yeah, and it come in the mystery bag.
I mean, our mystery bags this year are not that. But
No, they're different, but they're just as fun.
But we still have some mystery rolls we could fix you up.
Yeah.
Okay. So next thing I worked on was a block of the month that's currently going on that I'm doing, and it's called Cream and Sugar. It's this book by It's So Emma, and I have changed it to Strawberries and Cream because mine has a lot of pink and red. So I have done some blocks ahead. These are some of these little setting blocks.
Okay.
So this is May and June I have done. These fussy little things.
Yes.
I mean, you know, not big deals, but
These take some time.
this takes some time. So there's 8 of those. I think
This one's the real fussy.
yeah,
The next
this-
one.
Look how fussy that little thing is.
We have 8 of those
I
too.
had 4 of those. So I spent a whole day. Look at that fussy little thing. And there's
I'm
4.
yawning. It's the end of the day.
Has 4 of those. She needs food.
Maybe food and a nap.
And then this block wasn't quite so bad, but there's 4 of those. So I didn't bring all the blocks over here, but this thing is over in August. So now that I have May and June done, I just need to finish July and August and I can start setting it. And then you're gonna see all about the Strawberries and Cream because there's a lot of red and pink in this quilt. And I'll just show you one little photo here close up. Look at all the little setting blocks. That's what I'm making now. All these little setting ones that go on the sides. So I have 2 more months to make and then I can start putting it together. And it doesn't have any sashing, you're just building it with all these little setting blocks. Okay.
Okay, so I showed this last week. I'm gonna show it to you again, and I've made no progress, but this is next up after I finish that
Greenstone?
greenstone. So this is another, I mean, she's not as tedious, but there are some little pieces and such, see? Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll figure out when you've quilted for a while. One of the patterns I was working on over the weekend had me making flying geese, geese, and a method that I don't like to do.
So you just do your own thing.
Just do your own thing. They just
Yeah.
got to end up being this size, so do whatever works for you.
Yeah. But anyway, I had bought this I think these are fat quarter packs, which
quarter
we
pack.
do have some of these here in the shop. I don't think we have very many left. But anyway, I have all these fat quarters that I'm gonna use for
Love
this.
it, love it, love it.
This will be the background, and this is the binding.
That's the same color in your star quilt.
Yeah, I was on a kick, I think, maybe. Excited about that.
Well, that one you didn't even do, you just opened the
No.
bag. You just got what you got.
Yeah. Anyway, that's next. I haven't made one block of these, so you could get this bundle and, you know, probably show me up.
Maybe beat her.
Yeah, maybe be like, oh, I got it done before you.
Okay, so I'm on number 7. Are you gonna be ready for number 7?
Yeah.
We're about getting there, folks. All right, so I'm gonna show you the Nightingale quilt. If you watched a couple of weeks
wow, you got a
ago.
lot more blocks done.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. That's what I was doing till 11 o'clock one night. So there is the Nightingale quilt, and we do have this pattern in the shop, and I showed it on live shopping probably 2 weeks ago.
We do have some kits of this too.
We do, and actually it's going to be on live shopping tomorrow.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I put the whole kit on
You
there.
get on Facebook. And
But last week I showed it, I had 1 block done, and now I have 5 blocks done.
yay. And this one's, I mean,
The
some sewing, but
piecing.
it's not a lot.
Piecing is easy. It's an Essex linen as the background, and it's done in aqua.
Very pretty.
Aren't they pretty? I love this one. Really soft colors.
Mm-hmm.
Takes 20 fat quarters to do it the size that I'm doing it, which is not the square one, that one.
60 by 75.
So it has a little bit of taupe in there. See that taupe? So pretty. Maybe this is the one I had done last week. I don't know. But I need to make 20 blocks. I have 5 done. So if I just keep trailing right along.
Yeah, and there's no sashing, is there?
No. You can see
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
the
all.
one I'm making. That's sashing.
So see that was
Beating
just
me up.
solid colors, and I have a hard time working with solids. I really like florals. But this kit will be on live shopping tomorrow, and we do have the pattern also to shop with. Just like the pattern.
All right, so I'm gonna show you this again. This is my Leader Ender scrap quilt I've been working on, and I got lots of blocks done. So.
Yes, you do. Be more setting.
Yep.
But you're probably gonna get your greenstone done first before you set that.
Well, yeah, I've got to get the greenstone done. It's on my calendar. It's on my list. I got to get it done because there's other stuff I want to take home. I can't take stuff home until I get something done.
That's where I'm at. I got caught up, and so when I took this Nightingale home, I knew it was gonna be a quilt that wasn't gonna be a Villa Rosa fast thing. It was gonna be time consuming.
Well, and that's what happens. I end up taking stuff home that's fast for the shop, and then those things are a little more challenging. I don't know what that's doing in there.
It's more scraps. Just zip it up.
Maybe it's from a different project I'll be looking for.
You might be looking for that at some point in time. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you is a binding that I got sewn on my Starstruck.
Ooh, this one's pretty too.
Starstruck quilt.
So this is a pattern we have in the shop. We do not have this fabric. Mom got it somewhere else.
Yes, got it somewhere else, and it's
That pink binding.
is kind of different, isn't it?
It's a good choice. I like it. It stands out.
Well, look at my backing. I even got the backing somewhere else. It's so pretty. Oh, I got it upside down. You can't even appreciate it. Oh.
I like the pink binding. I think that's fun.
It's got deers in it. I just
We
love
do
it.
not have this fabric.
We do not
Mom's got this
I'm
somewhere
showing
else.
you just to tease you.
We don't know the name of it. We don't know where you can find
No, I
it.
think it's Free Spirit fabric, but I mean, I got it, I think it was out of state somewhere. But it's just a layer cake pattern. Starstruck calls for a layer cake, background of your stars. I went ahead and added a little inner and outer border. That's not even
The
on
pattern
there.
doesn't call for that.
No, doesn't even call for that. But
That's fine. I like that.
I do too. And so, you know, you just need quilts around to give away that's already done.
Yes, you do.
One of my employees and I were talking about that this morning, is that it worked out. She had a quilt that was perfect for the individual she wanted to give it to, and she said, you know, it was done, it was ready to go. And I love to have a few quilts like that laying around.
All right, my last one this is another one I'd like to get done. This is a block of the month that we did a while ago.
A while ago.
And anyway, I'm maybe halfway done with the blocks.
Blocks are huge.
The blocks are big, but another little booger with this thing is that sashing.
The sashing's gonna be a little work, but that's what makes this whole quilt though. Let me
Yeah,
see if I can show you one.
sashing wearing me out with that other one.
It's like, can I slap all the blocks together?
Yes.
And I do enjoy piecing, and I think that is my favorite part of Quilting is
Well, then when you get, I mean, I
then it
don't
gets
like,
big.
yes, I don't like necessarily putting it all together. And then when you have all that sashing, it's like, oh, I gotta up and down, do all this sashing in there. I can just slap all the blocks together.
Look how pretty the sashing is.
But they are sure pretty when they have all that detail sashing.
Oh yeah, you look at your sashing. That is going to be quite. That's the last month. It's like if you've lived through all the blocks, then the sashing is where you're going to die.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna die.
Anyway.
All right, well, that's everything. So have a good rest of your day. Hopefully this will get loaded up by Friday. We'll try to do that tonight. So
Yes, and live shopping tomorrow morning on Friday at 9:30.
Friday at 9:30. I
On
hope
Facebook.
this is up by then. So
Yes.
anyway, Fridays at 9:30. Bye.
Bye.